JLP finally makes a long-awaited return to a Borg Cube. Cam, it's been like 30 years at this point, and we got a tiny little flash of the Borg Queen.
Yes, we did.
I can't tell you how giddy everybody was in our viewing party that we had as we saw this, and this was just a split second. Is it inevitable that the Borg Queen must return for Star Trek Picard at some point in Season 1?
I mean, the Borg Queen was such a huge character on Voyager, especially through the latter half of Voyager.
She was certainly better than Maj Kala as the primary antagonist.
Just a little.
Okay.
But I would have to say that the Borg Queen is up there with the greatest villains in Star Trek with Khan, Gul Dukat. We've seen they keep going back to the Khan well. It makes absolutely no sense to them not to bring the Borg Queen back, because that's a character that just by their the way this character exists in this universe, there's an endless fountain of stories to do, and every time you bring in the Borg Queen's probably around.
Yeah, and I feel that we've gone as far as we can go with the 7 of 9 and Borg Queen dynamic, and this is why I want to bring her back. It's been, since 1996 that she last had a confrontation with Jean-Luc Picard, with all that whole Locutus dynamic, her co-equal in this Borg collective.
But it wasn't even that much of a dynamic with Patrick Stewart in that. It was much more Brent Spiner. We haven't gotten to see the more extensive long-form sort of seduction of the Borg Queen with Picard. That is a new thing.
Him snapping her spine at the very end was all you were hoping for.
That's Klingon romance.
But the few moments that they did have together, I felt it.
Oh,
it was
totally.
very visceral. I loved it. I want more of that sort of stuff. But what do you think the confrontation involves at this point? Because it's been so long, we know that the Borg collective is much weakened compared with his era because of what happened in Voyager's Endgame.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what they're going to bring to the table with the whole Locutus and Borg Queen dynamic at this point.
Well, and also Picard himself is weakened. I don't think we're going to see him swinging from cables on this episode, if the Borg Queen shows up. So,
it's only because he's falling.
He's stuck in them. But, I mean, that is something that's really fascinating to me, of two old enemies meeting up in weakened states. It's something you would see in old westerns, kind of the cowboys who've been around on the since the beginning of the Wild West, it's meeting up at the end.
Gene Hackman and Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven.
Yeah, and is this not Picard's Unforgiven?
I can totally buy that. And look, I'm just saying, I don't know how this could disappoint. Alice Krige can totally rock it, but we also know that from Voyager, Susanna Thompson was able to totally embody that role.
Yeah.
Such an iconic part here, Cam. I think that they're just going to... the writers are in the writer's room, and if they have the opportunity to bring this character back, they have multiple avenues to do so. Even if they have to recast it once again, why would they not take this opportunity?
I just pray to God it's not like a baby cloud head like in the Matrix Revolutions.